Good evening. This is the Crypto Homie back with another video. Today we have a few topics. We're just mentioned the Bitcoin halving, personal responsibility, like when it comes to finances and just life in general. Just mentioned the Fed printing of the money and reflect on gold and Bitcoin and just current topics that are going on in the past couple of weeks. So to start off with the halving, it seems like in the crypto space, the halving hasn't been talked about much since we had that 8K down to 3,800 back up to 55 somewhere around there. It seems like we're holding at the 200 weekly moving average, which is pretty significant for Bitcoin because that's where we held when we fell down to 3,100, which was back, what was that, like last December? Not this past like December, the one before. So now that we're back there, we were below it, but currently today at 6,700, we're above it. It's 200 MA, weekly MA is about 5,600 ish, somewhere around there. So we're above it. Some good news for the current time. But I think something to keep in mind with, especially with all this money printing by the Fed, this new, unlimited QE and all these fancy words they use to just say, hey guys, we're going to print some more money and here we go. But basically, like Bitcoin's going to be happening in less than 50 days, if I'm not mistaken. That means each miner will get a half day reward for each block they mine. Thus, if every day it comes down to like to supply and demand. So if every day there's X amount of if there's X amount of buyers and X amount of sellers, and right now we're just holding even. Let's say it needs like $18 million just to hold the supply, just to hold the price like the where it is, and we have 18 million buyers, and then because assuming that the miners are selling to pay for their electric and all the other costs of mining. So what happens when they're selling half the amount of Bitcoin, but we still have the same amount of money coming in? Theoretically, the price would double. Obviously, we know that's not going to happen right away. Based off the history of Bitcoin, that probability will not happen. In the future, 6 months to 18 months afterwards, of course, we can see more than a doubling, but we'll just see what happens. It'll be an interesting time, especially with the current financial situations that we're in. As we all know, the stock market is not, everything's off. Bitcoin's off. The only thing that seems gold's holding up pretty well. It seems like with the gold and silver coins, they're hard to buy right now, which is great. I mean, what happens if hyperinflation really happens? I mean, it's not good for us, but I mean, it's possible. So moving on to like the personal responsibility topic, it's just interesting how with these bailouts we had in '08, it just seems like it was a band-aid for the massive issues that we had. I mean, look at hotels. Everybody wants bailed out. Movie theaters want bailed out because no one's going to the movie theaters. Airplane companies. What do you call them? Like traveling companies. They want bailed out because no one's flying. I mean, I wonder why. You don't want to get the virus. So it's just like, whoa, whoa. They all want bailed out. It's like, you know what? Why don't we bail out all these student loans? Why don't we bail out everybody with a car loan? What about their mortgage? Just bail them out. No big deal. And I mean, when we can go on and on, like what like I mean, are we in capitalist country, like capitalism? Well, the market decides the winners, the market decides the losers. Right now, it like it's corrupt. We're picking the winners, we're picking the losers. We like why can't we let these companies just fail? And then someone new and better for the consumer will come out. And you know what? It could be better, it could be worse. Who knows? Anyways, not trying to get into politics, but I kind of mentioned the third topic, the Fed printing money. I mean, like, why do we work? Like, if they're gonna print some more money, be like, hey, homie, hook me up, print me some more dough. Like, what's the point? They're just gonna keep printing it, and I understand it's not as simple as they're just printing it. They're buying bonds, they're buying all this stuff, and let's not even talk about the buybacks with stocks. But on to the fourth topic, gold and Bitcoin. If you guys have checked the charts lately, obviously with Bitcoin, like we're doing way better, and gold as well. I think gold and Bitcoin will perform similarly. Obviously, not like react at the same time or the same percentages, but I think overall Bitcoin will outperform gold long term. But I think gold is definitely still a great asset to hold because it's not a finite as Bitcoin, but the supply is still pretty finite compared to, I mean, fiat. I mean, like, it's definitely finite compared to a lot of other things. But with that in mind, if you have like, you know, like a couple ounce bullion, like, how are you gonna use that if fiat becomes hyperinflated and now you need to exchange non-fiat like currency or whatever you want to call it? Then I mean, maybe that's where the silver coins will come in mind, because 1 ounce of silver obviously costs less, even if hyperinflation and say every ounce is worth $100, it's easier to transact that way. But nonetheless, that's another topic. But just to recap, the halving, I mean, it's very bullish for Bitcoin. We all know that. Look at Plan B's charts. I mean, can you argue it? Yes, you can. You can definitely argue it, and please argue it. See if there's any flaws that we can find, because maybe it's all wrong. But history shows, looks like it should work out, and it might not work out exactly like the last two times. It might not be exactly 6 months to 18 months. Maybe this time it's 24 months. Maybe it's 36. Who knows? Maybe, you know what? We just have one of those off cycles to where it's going to be the next 4 year cycle. Something like that. 4 year cycle being the next happening. Who knows? It could be 2030. Who knows? But in the personal responsibility, it's just like if you decide to make a decision on something, you have to be responsible for it and be held for your actions. Like with these bailouts, it just seems silly to me. But it just seems like, hey, they're all homies at the top. Like, hey, yo, hook me up, yo. And then, it works out. The printing money, once again, the homies hooking up with the money. And then just keep in mind the hedge to hyperinflation, in my opinion only, this is not financial advice, just entertainment for your pleasure, is gold and Bitcoin. It seems like gold and Bitcoin, and obviously some altcoins, but if you want to be to the point, not getting too risky, obviously altcoins can have some major gains, but gold and Bitcoin are the way to go. Well, guys, this is the Crypto Homie. Peace out.